For a sensitive seizure warning.
Mm-hmm. Carl, Brendan, and Dan here from Games Brains Being Alive, gbhbl.com for sure, and it's reaction video time as we're checking out the track Pale Tongue by Darko US. I haven't got a clue. Dan, fill us in.
They're just stupid heavy. I don't know how to describe what they're doing. I don't know what genre I'd put them in. I know nearly nothing about them. This song caught my attention, and I thought it'd be interesting to see what you both think about it.
Well, we know heavy music. I'm sure we can find the genre for them.
That's what we do. Let's pigeonhole.
3, 2, 1, go. Whoa.
In the spring, the larvae hatch, and the cycle begins again.
Well,
Okay. I mean, the obvious thing is to obviously was to point out, yes, it's very fucking heavy. It very, very much is. You know, all joking aside, if someone was generally asked me to categorize that, I'd probably go mix of slam, grind to a degree. I mean, it's all thrown into this fucking blender, and then they shit in the blender as well, and then turned it on, and that's the end result. You know, I like it a lot because I love that kind of heavy grinding, just pounding me till I can't take any more. But that's where it ends. Do you know what I mean? Like, put up a whole album of that, I'm going to be like, yeah, it's cool. You know, you're trying to be as heavy as possible, and that's fun and all that. From what I gather as well, what I was looking, it's a side project, and at least someone from Chelsea Grin is involved in it. So it makes sense why there's a bit of the hardcore edge to it as well and stuff like that. I think it's a good track. Like, it's a very heavy track. Do I think they're doing anything unique? No, because there are hundreds of very heavy bands. You know, you flip through the comments and people are creaming themselves and saying things like, oh, it's the heavy thing I've ever heard. And I'm thinking like, well, you haven't listened to enough, because I've heard music that's as heavy as this. But what this track does, I think, a little bit worse than perhaps a lot of the other music I've heard, is this is heavier on the effects. And then I start to think, how much of this have you done in production? Like, I don't want to sound cheeky, but how much have you fucked around with this to such an extent that, you know what I mean? Like, where I'm getting at with this, where it's like, how much is this real heaviness and not just computerized heaviness, you know?
Ooh.
You know?
Oh, okay.
You see where I'm coming from, though? You know the points in the song where you can hear that, and it's all that stuff. And that's been done in production, post-production and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, but I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing.
No, of course not. Oh, no, of course not. Are you kidding me? How many fucking bands and music and all that sort of stuff that I love? Of course, the idea is make this sound as good as it fucking possibly can. That is the point. Make it, and if it's going to enhance what is going to be, I'm not saying they weren't fucking going insane. Of course they totally were. And then you're going to get this enhancement where you then add in, I'm not trying to say it's not. What I'm saying is by comparative, when it's someone's describing, because that's what this looks like. The selling point of this song is, the selling point is, you sold it to us as it's incredibly fucking heavy. I was flicking through the comments as at the same time, and everyone's going, yeah, this is the heaviest thing I've ever heard, and that's it. And I'm like, that's where that it's not criticism of the band, it's a criticism more of the fact that when you do, it's a too wide of an encompassing statement to say this is the heaviest thing ever, when it's like, yeah, it really fucking is heavy, it really is, but lots of bands are heavy. Do I think it was a great song? No. That's the important thing.
It's two people, it's a drummer and the vocalist, which I think is quite interesting considering they're doing all of that for two people, but it's not the entire album. Your new favorite vocalist, Courtney LaPlante from Syrup Rocks, makes a feature on one of the songs.
Right, I'm going to stop you right there. Dude, I'm not going to let him get away with that. Love Courtney, fantastic singer. Really admire Spirit Box as well. He's just referencing the fact that I once said a negative thing about a video and upset a subset of idiot Spirit Box fucking fans. I'm not going to accept that. Don't be jumping in the comments going, what do you mean he doesn't like Courtney? I fucking love her. I think she's brilliant and easily one of the most exciting talents in metal. Shut up, Dan.
I asked if you'd listened to the new song and you went,
which at that time I had it. What did I message you back and say? I'm going to listen to it now. You didn't reply, so I didn't bother saying what I thought of it.
Oh, I didn't see you said that. Well, they've got the clean song. They just released their first proper album, I think. I think they might have had an EP before that, but they've just released their debut album. You've got a lot of the clean songs, but there's quite a lot of that as well.
Is there really?
What do you mean?
What you just said? They've got clean.
Yeah, they've got clean singing. I think Donna, and there's a song called Daniel. Wrote about.
You obviously.
Yeah.
When you got anything to add?
I was just enjoying the argument. Yeah, I mean, for me, I had two predominant genres throughout the whole thing. So, I thought it was quite easy to categorize as well. And that was deathcore and grind. That's what I felt. I felt the beginning of it was very deathcore, on the heavier side, of course, and the end of it was very much on the grind side of things. I thought it was all right. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed listening to it. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was nice, heavy blaster music. Again, I didn't feel overly like, oh, this is amazingly unique. I've never heard this sort of shit before. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it for what it was. I find it quite interesting that you say there might be that there are cleaner or even clean or cleaner songs on the album, because it feels to me like to go from this to a clean song would be really fucking weird on an album, but
almost like piano ballad thing. It's called Donna. It's the third song.
So structurally, but then the problem, I guess, is, or it's not a problem as such, but the thing is that if it's a side project, then it's going to be a eclectic mix of whatever they want to do at the time. you know. So, and nothing wrong with that. Fair play. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I can't imagine Chelsea Grinner disappearing anytime soon. So I think it's probably a side project that stays as a side project. But for a straight up blast of heavy death grind, enjoyed it. You know, I can see why people would listen to it. The fact that you said there is a drummer and vocalist, yeah, you said it was only the two, wasn't it? You know, suggests that obviously what Carl was saying about a lot being done in post production is 100% right, because that wasn't just vocals and drums playing there.
I don't think
we're analysing the song, Dan.
I enjoyed it. I did. I like a bit of grind. That's the truth of it. I like deathcore. You know, and I felt it was a good mix of it and a good version of that. You know, I wouldn't worry too much about the comments. I read the same as you. You know, I was flicking down because the lyrics are underneath it, so I was trying to go along with the lyrics to see what he was singing about. And I read some of the comments too. But you know, that's more of a slight on the people with the comment than it is on the band.
Of course it is. I don't want to end this video by suggesting for any second that I didn't think that was a good song. Of course, I mean, Jesus Christ, I love all those elements.
It's too heavy for him.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's too heavy for me, man.
It's not post enough.
It's not spirit box enough. Although then, you know, they're heavy as fuck as well. But no, I thought it was really, really good track. As said, it is incredibly heavy. It's simply put, all I'm saying is, for me, that wasn't unique, or in that aspect where it's like, oh, you've never heard anything like this before. My response is, yeah, I have. All the fucking time.
It was a good version of stuff I've heard before. You know, it was a good version of it. You know, if that came on, I ain't turning it off. I'd listen to it again, no problems. You know.
Yeah. And on that note, then let us know what you think in the comments.
Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?